I'm Owen Bigland. This is the Inside Edge video blog. Okay, a few weeks ago I did a blog on strata wind-ups and unit assemblies. So let's do part 2 here on land assemblies. And I've done a few blogs over the years on land assemblies. So let's just recap a few things. I'll give you the basics of land assemblies and some of the things you want to watch out for and how to do it right. So just like the strata wind-up, or if you had a strata and wanted to do a unit assembly, this is generally, in my opinion, not for a residential realtor, someone like me. You want to hire a commercial realtor for this, just like you do with a strata wind-up or a unit assembly on a condo. I would be out of my league with this. And I get, again, approached multiple times every year on land assemblies. And depending on what it is, I have done some land assemblies in the past. I've done some in my early years in Richmond, but these were generally 1, 2, 3 homes, and they were usually what we call compact lots. So they were a 70 wide lot, 3 70 wide frontage lots that you could subdivide into 6 35 wide lots. And those were a fairly straightforward sale. You were dealing with a small builder or small developer. But if you're in East Vancouver, let's say, or West Side Vancouver, maybe on a busier street where you've got the ability to build maybe stacked townhomes, or even better, you've got an FSR of 3 or 3.5 or more, and can build a 3 or 4 story wood frame condo, maybe 70 or 80 units. This is the work for an experienced commercial realtor. So I'm more than happy, if you want to reach out to me, I will refer you to the best. I've had several clients just recently, I'm going to get in a minute here, that have put together land assemblies. The last one was done with the guy that I would recommend. And like I said on the strata wind-up, there are 2 different realtors I would recommend. If it's a 40-story condo downtown, I'm going to recommend Commercial Realtor A, who has the Rolodex. If it's something on the east side that's going to be townhomes or maybe a 40-unit wood frame condo, it's going to be Commercial Realtor B, who has a Rolodex to those type of buyers, builders, and developers, because they're a totally different game. Boza and Ani and Cressy and the big guys probably aren't interested in a 10-unit townhouse potential. But unit assemblies, again, you want to get a pro for that. The other thing with unit assemblies, land assemblies, the bigger the assembly, probably the more value you've got there. If you've got an entire block, it generally makes it more appealing, as opposed to having 3 homes maybe, and then the other 3 or 4 on the block aren't interested. But it starts with knowing what your value is on the land. What is the current zoning? And generally you want to have an FSR, or floor space ratio. The higher that number, the more value your dirt or your lot is. And this has been in the news a few times, and I see this all the time. You'll have land assemblies where they've got 5 or 6 homes. These homes, without being an assembly, let's say they're worth 1.5. They're tax assessed at 1.5 million. But they're asking $3.5 million for 7 or 8 homes each. But if you look into it, they are zoned for something like affordable rentals, or the FSR on it is zoned for stacked townhomes, not 4 or 5 story condo. And this has been in the news quite a bit. I mean, these sellers are dreaming, and part of that is they've hired a realtor, generally who's not experienced in this field, that thinks, I can just, I've seen other developments sell it 2 or 3 times tax assessed. Let's just throw that out there. But, they don't have a hope with that. You're not going to get $3 million if all the builder or developer can do is affordable rentals on that lot. It's not going to happen. And that's a mistake that you see over and over again on the MLS. These are just going to sit. You have to know what you've got, what your current zoning and FSR, because that will totally determine what your price is. Now, if you remember, about a year prior to COVID, after the NDP got in, I had said I had several clients that were involved in land assemblies on the east side. And the land assembly at that point, you can go back and watch my blogs on it, had really slowed. The NDP had got in, they bumped up the foreign buyers tax, the City of Vancouver empty homes tax, the BC speculation tax came in. The developers, and I don't blame them, got skittish. The land assembly and the unit assembly interest was done, over. These developers are smart. They were going to say, well, let's just hold up a minute here. A lot of dark clouds here with government, which it always is with the NDP. Let's just hold off on things. And I had a number of clients that were in land assemblies that were taken off the market. Then COVID hit, and that put the final nail on the coffin here last year. Done. Now I can tell you that as I speak now, fall 2021, there is some renewed interest now in these land assemblies. And I have both my clients on the east side have both successfully sold their homes at a very good price. So the developers are back out there, especially on these kind of smaller to mid-range developments. Think, a 40-unit wood frame condo complex on Nanaimo or Renfrew, or perhaps a 20 or 25 unit townhouse complex. So they are back out there, but on both the sales my guys had, they were priced right. They were with a good commercial realtor, and they had excellent FSR. It was all approved, shovel ready. And that's the other thing. A lot of these land assemblies, you see, they don't have the zoning, they don't have the FSR, and a lot of it has to be approved. And there's just too much uncertainty there. So that's why you want to hire a competent, experienced commercial realtor to assess what you've got. He will meet with the owners on the potential assembly and give you, the facts on what this land is worth, and if you can get 5 owners or 6 owners, or if we can get the entire block, what that might do for your prices. Prices are all over the road. Again, it depends on what the FSR is and what it's zoned for. But there are some sales that have come together. Again, hire an experienced commercial realtor for this. I'm more than happy. Reach out to me and I will refer you to someone. I'll get a small, referral commission on it, which I'm happy to take, but I will put you in touch with the best, and that's who you want to use for these. I would not be relying on just a regular realtor for this. I sure wouldn't take on a 10 home assembly on a Renfrew or Nanaimo Street. I would be way out of my league with that. I don't have the Rolodex. I don't have the experience for that kind of thing. But you're going to see more of these, just like you are with those strata wind-ups and the unit assemblies with condos. Land assemblies are going to continue to pick up steam. The City of Vancouver is upping the zoning and the density along these major corridors. And that's usually where you're going to get these high-value land assemblies. They're not going to be on quiet streets, peripheral streets. They're going to be on the main street, Knight Street, Renfrew, Nanaimo, those kind of streets where they're going to allow the density on it. But hire a commercial realtor for it. You want to have everyone on board. Generally, in the last ones that I just had, the sale prices were determined on the lot size. They don't generally look at anything with the specific home. If you put a new kitchen in your house and you're on a 33 by 122, you're going to get the same amount that your neighbor is going to get who has an all original Vancouver special. So keep that in mind. I saw assembly not long ago where it was a bunch of old houses and then a house that was basically brand new, a couple years old. And I can tell you, I'm pretty certain that the owner of that brand new home probably did not get any more money than the other land assembly sellers in there. They probably got all about the same amount based on the lot size. I'm Owen Bigland. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.